I dream of a world where who we are, the impact we have on others, and what we have achieved matter more than anything. We should all be leaders, period. And we should all aim to do good, to bring value, and to change the world one love at a time.
My hope for the future is truly captured by a beautiful quote which Sheryl Sandberg stated in her book, where she says that in the future, there will be no female leaders. There will simply be leaders. I truly believe that the world is moving towards an ecosystem of humanity when one human supports another, where it's not about one boy standing up for a girl or other way around. It's truly about one human understanding the potential of another and being magnanimous enough to really give them a quantum leap. I also believe that till a gendered ecosystem exists, all genders need to work together to understand each other's context, empathize with one another, and truly help each other in this process of gaining not just equality, but equity, so that we give people the exact quantum leap that they need, and so that we can all be at equal footing together.
Coming out of the pandemic, one of the things that we've seen as a positive trend is that many more people now have a strong sense of what it takes to parent and work simultaneously. And so I think we're moving into an era where all people with caring responsibilities might be better able to recognize what women have historically been bearing the brunt of and to move towards greater equality. Because after all, we'll only break down some of these biases by everyone doing their part, which also means men breaking down the barriers to take on significant caregiving responsibilities and to make that visible in their workplaces. So all of us need to work together to break these kind of biases.
My hopes for an unbiased future are that by breaking bias, we can achieve a fairer world where we can overcome historic injustices and people can achieve their potential regardless of their gender, ethnicity, or social background. I hope that we can also recognise and respect each other's differences, whilst acknowledging how much we have in common. Overall, I hope that we can achieve a more compassionate and kinder world.
In terms of a hope for the future, going back to my roots in the art world, there's a slogan that was made famous by the conceptual artist Jenny Holzer, which is raise boys and girls the same way. And that's always really stuck with me. I would update that for the current moment to raise kids of all genders the same way. But regardless, it's a sentiment I hope our generation is taking into consideration as we are or become parents. I do think nurture is one of the biggest ways to break the gender bias.
My hope for an unbiased future is where all, regardless of background, can pursue their dreams and reach their full potential without stereotypes, where we all have a deep self-awareness and make a commitment to understanding and breaking down our own stereotypes and perceptions for a more diverse, equitable world.
I'm passionate about politics and governance, two areas in which we must do more to eliminate bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. All over the world, women prove daily that top-flight leadership is not the preserve of men. When we choose merit over connections and fairness over injustice, we find that women are always contenders for top positions in society. Affirmative action is therefore not a favor. It's merely a step in the right direction. As a husband to my wife, father to my daughter, son to my mother, and brother to my sisters, I can neither understand nor justify any existence that ignores and allows bias against women. Inequity disproportionately affects women, but changing it needs everyone. I therefore call on men everywhere to act as allies. We must challenge the status quo every time. Don't keep silent in the face of injustice. Recognize the power of one voice, your voice. Let us together break the bias. It's the right thing to do. Happy International Women's Day, everyone. God bless.
My hope for an unbiased future would be a world in which we all have the maturity and the awareness of actually asking ourselves about our own reactions. So whenever we have a reaction to something somebody says, a reaction to a woman saying or doing something, stop, whether it's positive or negative, stop and say, would I have had the same reaction if that had been the man? And likewise, if a man does something that you think is really terrific or you do not like, ask yourself about your reaction. Would you have reacted the same way to what he said or did if it had been a woman? In that way, we can actually learn about our own biases, and that's the only way to move forward, because the biases are there every day in everything we do. And the only way of a future without biases is if we have the maturity and strength to ask ourselves, would I have had the same reaction if it had been a man, or vice versa if it had been a woman?
In order to have a world free from bias, we need to remove the stereotypes, the prejudices, and the preconceived ideas we have about people. We need to look at people as immense, valuable resources for our social and personal enrichment, as well as the immense skills and capabilities they can contribute to our businesses, to our organizations, and to the economy. We need to be able to listen to people first and try to understand them rather than try to put them in boxes, pigeonhole them, and therefore restrict what is capable and possible all over this world. I am delighted that the work I'm doing and the people I'm meeting are great enablers for economic growth, for enrichment socially, and my personal development.
I have great hope from an unbiased future for women. In an unbiased future for women, we are no longer talking about equality, we're talking about equity. We're understanding that men and women are built differently, their biology is different, their mind works differently, their emotions work differently, and we are creating policy and infrastructure to support this. In an unbiased future, when we are talking about a woman achieving her goals, we're no longer talking about breaking barriers or overcoming hurdles, but actually focusing on how she will achieve her goals. In an unbiased future, I hope there is government infrastructure and policy put in place so change is happening at a fundamental level, whether that is in creating an army of help to support a woman, whether that is about creating equal conversations between men and women about their duties as a householder, as a parent, as a responsible citizen. I have great hopes from an unbiased future.
When I envisage an unbiased future, three things come to mind. First, truly equal opportunity. We come into this world as equals, yet bias prevents equal access to many facets of life. My hope is that in an unbiased world, there is no bias in access to education, no bias in the workplace, and no bias in the broader community. Second, better health and well-being. Bias has an impact on our mental well-being, in particular our self-esteem and our self-perception. My hope is that in an unbiased world, will no doubt have a positive impact on our well-being and the well-being of society and its values. And third, a more positive and impactful world. Bias holds back the best people from having the best impact they can, whether it's in the workplace or the community. An unbiased future offers an exponential benefit by empowering individuals to achieve their potential, resulting in a far more positive and less challenging world. Those are my hopes. I carry with them throughout my life. I encourage you to do all you can to achieve an unbiased future.
I hope for an ideal world where women and men are in the same pedestrian, treated as equal counterparts, given the same opportunity. We don't need any special treatments. I aspire for a culture which accepts women as they are, value and celebrate the differences. This starts with each one of us, as we are solely accountable for our thoughts and actions. Individually, we can lead by examples, and together we can break the bias in our community and workplaces. I want to live in a world which values diverse opinions and experiences, leading to more powerful decision making. We'll definitely be in a better place, making more informed, valuable decisions and celebrating the best talent, force, and leadership.
We have to acknowledge that, yes, it is a biased world. Now, I try and crack through these biases where I can. In the workspace, I work with VC as well as impact investors, and try to sort of break down those biases that most of the global ones have inherently against African businesses. I have scores of amazing, ambitious African entrepreneurs that I work with that really, really deserve some fantastic support and investment. The other thing I do is I founded a platform that really seeks to tell more positive, more colorful, cosmopolitan, globally relevant African stories to the world, that also serves as a mentoring, empowering and career guidance platform called We Three Queens of Africa. So that's how I try to break down the biases that I face or that I see around me.
My hope for the future is that of a more inclusive world where both men and women have equal opportunity to participate in any profession and receive the same compensation for doing the same jobs. I am Veneta Nikolova, and I trust, and I know that together we can make this hope a reality one day. Happy International Women's Day, everyone.